It's your boy Ezra KJ300. Y'all know I'm coming. And before I start this video, I want to say thank you to all my Saints fans, all my football fans on YouTube and Instagram. I grew so much this year. I gained so many followers, subscribers. I went to New Orleans for my first time, I think a month ago. It was so many people that knew me. People taking pictures. I did a meet and greet. I went to the game Sunday, and there was so many people that knew me, came up to me talking about my Instagram and YouTube. So shout out to all y'all. Without y'all, I wouldn't be where I am right now. Going to games and people knowing who I am and all this. So I just want to say thank y'all for that. Now, as a Saints fan, I know and I feel the exact same way. I was at the game. I got to witness what happened. For us to have 2 years back to back where something happened, and you just feel like we had it. Last year, it was a tackle by Marcus Williams. We all know that story. Blah. This year was way worse because it was out of our control. Like, literally, it was out of our control. A lot of people are saying, well, they missed this call. What about the other missed calls and all that? I'm going to put it just like this. After everything that happened in the game, it came down to this drive. You supposed, as the NFL, you supposed to have your best people out there. When it's something as clear as day as this pass interference, this helmet-to-helmet contact, there is no excuse for not calling it when you have two referees standing right there. I'm at the game. I'm probably behind the goalpost and to the left. The play happened on the right side of the goalpost. And the ball they was trying to score coming my way. I'm watching this drive, and we intense. We happy. At no point did I think the Rams were going to get blew out when we had the 13-0 lead. I knew they were going to come back. I knew it was going to be a great game. They were going to come down to a last drive or something. So we get to, I think, 2nd and 10. And Drew Brees throw this long pass to Ted Ginn. I'm talking about we all riled up. I'm talking about we happy. We talking about let's go, let's do this. This is our chance to win the game. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't know why Sean Payton threw the ball on first and second down. I don't know why he threw the ball. So the Rams can use their timeouts. But we get to this 3rd down, and Drew Brees has Lewis on the side of him. He runs out, and as he is trying to catch the ball, Coleman hits him, and all of us are like, oh, yeah, that's a flag. Oh, yeah, the game over. And we look around, and there's no flag. I see Drew Brees literally doing like this, like, what a flag is. And the refs was sitting there looking like they were so slow. I'm telling y'all, in real life, it looked like they was literally looking dumb. Like, I can't explain how mad I was. And people keep saying it's not one call that determined the game. To be honest, this call right here would have most likely ended the game. I think they said, if the math is correct, they said if we would have got the first down and we didn't score, we would just kept kneeling the ball and then ran the clock down with them having one timeout. They would have had 25 seconds left. Now, if we lose the game like that, I am okay with us kicking a field goal and then 25 seconds, they get a touchdown. That's on us. That's on the Saints players. Like, this right here was out of our control. This was the most obvious pass interference I have ever seen in my life. In the year of when you can just throw the ball on 3rd and 10, and soon as you throw it, if somebody don't turn their head around, you barely touch them, it's a pass interference. In the year of the pass interference, you don't throw a flag on the obvious. The most obvious I have seen all year. You don't call it, and it's 2 referees standing right there. They both saw it. They were both looking at the play. They know exactly what happened. Now it's all this stuff coming out, how they played. One on play with LA, the other one stay in LA, and all this. If all that is true, like I think it is, the NFL, why do y'all not see this? Like, what was it? Y'all know everything else about everybody else's history, but you didn't know that. I mean, I feel so bad as a Saints fan because I know we got robbed. We got robbed of going to the Super Bowl. Literally, we got robbed of going to the Super Bowl over something we could not control. People are saying Jared Goff outplayed Drew Brees the second half and overtime because of something like Drew Brees literally threw that 2nd and 10. It was the biggest play of the game. That was the biggest play of the game. The pass he threw to Ted Ginn was the biggest play of the game. It got us to the red zone. And then he threw a perfect pass to Tommy Lee Lewis that was going to be a touchdown, but he got hit before he even had a chance to catch the ball. Coleman didn't turn around. He intentionally hit him, flatlined him, helmet to helmet contact, literally, and they did not call it. So all the other fans talking all this, but we all know, even if you're a fan of the Rams, you know we got robbed. Like, it's the most obvious thing. Coleman got up and literally put his head down and knew it was a flag, and then he looked up and not a flag. They want to celebrate. Like, it was obvious. It was obvious. And I just said, like I said, being a Saints fan and for something like this to happen, the worst no call in NFL history to happen to us, as we are trying to go to the Super Bowl for the first time in 10 years, it's embarrassing. Like I said after the game on Instagram, I don't want to hear about the next day how, yes, it was a pass interference. I don't want to hear that after the NFC Championship game. You're supposed to have your best people out there. It is the last 2 minutes of a game. In the NFC Championship game, it is the last 2 minutes. And you don't call it. And you don't call it. Now, I'm not taking anything from the Rams. But, because it was a great game. The game was great. Everything was flowing. I liked the game. I was intense. I was pumped up for the game, the entire game. But when it come down to something like that, that was our key to the Super Bowl. And it literally got snatched away from us, from the referees to act like they didn't see the most obvious pass interference I've ever seen in my life. Obvious. So, for all my Saints fans, I know exactly how y'all feel. I feel the exact same way. The exact same way. I felt like we had a great chance to get to the Super Bowl and win like I did last year. I felt so good about this year. Winning in Atlanta would have been the best thing for us. Winning before the Falcons do in their own stadium. Winning a Super Bowl in their new stadium. They new dome. Really? That's exactly what we wanted to do. So like I said, for the NFL, I know it's petitions out there. It's a rule where Roger Goodell can do this. I'm not getting my hopes up because if something like that happened, I will be happy. But it's like so far down the line. I saw the the New Orleans attorney filed a lawsuit, but the lawsuit, what he's trying to get out of the lawsuit, about how the fans feel. That's exactly how I felt when I left that game. I was at the game and I felt like I lost some respect for the NFL because that was literally our chance to go to the Super Bowl. It is so hard to get to the Super Bowl. It is so hard. We haven't been in 10 years. It is so hard. And we had our chance and they literally took it from us. They took that from us. So, I've been thinking about it for 2 days. This is exactly what I wanted to say. I probably missed some stuff because I'm still upset about it because the whole world knows this was the most obvious call, the worst missed call in NFL history. At a time like this in the NFC Championship game, we got robbed. So, like I said, this is what happens. I'm not going to ever get over it because like I said, I feel like we supposed to be in the Super Bowl. I feel like we had a great chance to win the Super Bowl. So, to all my Saints fans, thank you. All my football fans, thank you. Next year is going to be a way better year for me. And with football, I'm going to cover more football. I'm getting a lot of stuff worked out where I can do highlights. I can do all type of stuff. It's going to be way better next year. But for right now, the Saints got robbed. That's exactly how I put it. So y'all let me know what y'all think. It's your boy Elzo KJ300. Y'all know, come back, share, like, share, subscribe, and let's get these digits.